I'm a 5A wood tip. I've been playing this for like ever. I know it's boring, but I love them. And I'm Vic Firth, but I gotta say I've tried every brand out there, and for some reason the Vic Firth, there's the balance on them. It just agrees with me in my system. But I love them. Vic Firth, and the brushes, the wire brushes are my two. You know, can't do it without them actually.
Yeah, they're awesome. I'm using the HD9s, which is just a little bit bigger than a 5B. It's got a great feel to it, and I love the roots, the wooden brushes. They're great, man. For especially those Americana type grooves where you want the snare to be a little less out of the way, they sound really good. And every once in a while I use the Vic tape if my hands are getting sore. And
it's a good idea.
They work good. I mean, apparently if your technique's good, your hands won't hurt. So my technique every once in a while is not so good. And but then there's other gigs I'll be out for 5 weeks and I won't get any blisters. It just kind of depends. There's a lot of adrenaline comes into it. But like you said, the balance of Vic Firth is by far to me better than anything out there. I was lucky because that's the stick I wanted to use, and I just went up to the guys at a NAMM show, introduced myself, and the relationship grew from there.
I use HD9 also.
All right,
yeah, man.
Excellent.
It's great. It's shocking. The balance is actually shocking.
Yeah,
when people talk about it, it just made it so much easier. I don't get as much breakage as I did before. A lot of breaking sticks, not with Vic Firth. They last good 3 songs. Anyway. No.
You get 3?
That's pretty good. No, they. I know if that happened with other sticks. I've literally counted off a song, not Vic Firth, other sticks. 1, 2, bam, and they're gone.
Nubs.
And I'm going, what do you do? What do I do? I'm like Jerry Lewis back there, trying to roll sticks out of my bag, and the song's going. Some people are playing, and I'm doing this. Not good. Not good. Really bad. And the root, those wooden sticks, the brushes. I've worked my way into a lot of acoustic gigs with this. I have to do a lot of radio promotion. I use a little cocktail kit, a little mini kick drum, a little 10-inch snare drum, and luckily the artist I play with likes percussion on these acoustic gigs, which just doesn't happen. So it allows me to do that and be on the gig where a drummer would never be on. We're doing guitar pulls with a drummer, which is usually not very cool, but it sort of makes it just great. It gives it that sort of non-stick sound that just fits in with acoustic guitar so well. Anyway, that's what's in my bag.
I use the 55As. And for a while, I'd always loved, of course, I'm sure we all have gone through the Dave Weckl sticks, the Steve Gadd sticks, the Vinnie Colaiuta sticks, every artist drummer sticks, Buddy Rich, and I'd be playing with them, and then when I finally got introduced to, when I finally met Vic Firth at the NAMM show, and a friend of mine hooked me up, and they sent me a bunch of different sticks, and Chamberlain sticks, and everything from 5A, 7A, the AJ1s, all these different sticks, and I'm playing gigs, and I'm using 5As for certain gigs, I'm using AJ1s for certain gigs, and then finally I just pick up the 55As, and I went, wow. It's like they literally became a part of, they fit my hand perfectly. And so those are the only sticks that I use for any genre of music, and I use the Heritage brushes and a couple of mallets and stuff, but those 55As are the ones for me.
Well, I carry Weckls in the bag for jazz gigs. If I'm doing studio or something heavier, I use 3A. I like the 3As. They've got the feel of the A, but it's a little bit longer, and I've always liked the wood bead, and I get a lot of life out of them. I don't really break a lot of sticks, even though I hit really hard. I chew them out in the middle from hitting a rim on a snare drum more than I really break them. And that's what I like about Vic Firth. I mean, they're tough. They weigh, each stick weighs the same. It just feels good in your hand. You know, I've used the competitor sticks and roll them, and they're warped. And you know, how can you get an even bounce or something if you need to bounce with a warped stick? You can't. So Vic Firth has always been a good stick for me. But if I'm playing, like I said, if I'm having to play real light or real quiet, let's say, then I'll go to a lighter stick. If I have to play like in a rock and roll band where they just want you to beat the fire out of them, then you got to use a heavier stick, so I always play the stick for the gig, mainly just Weckels, and I went to the 3As with Travis. I like them. That's a good stick.
I use a bunch of different sticks. We were talking about sound earlier, and I just think that different sticks on the same drum kit can completely change the entire sound. You know, I'll even track a song and like my part, but if everybody's going again, we'll do it again, and I'll even switch sticks then, just because maybe I had a little too heavy of a stick. You know, it might have been a 5B, and then I get to a 5A, and it just puts a totally different feel on the track by the weight of the stick. I like the 5As a lot, use those a lot, in the 5Bs, and I like the Jordans, and the Zorro sticks I like a lot too. So again, it just depends what kind of track. You know, we could have I could use 4 or 5 different style of stick on any session. You know, but generally the 5As are my favorite. And again, the balance is so great, and the tips. I always used to have trouble with tips shearing off sticks. You know, brand new pair, not with Vic Firth. They're very solid, which is great, because that's the worst when you're in the middle of a track and you're just the corner of your tip goes, you get on your ride, someone all of a sudden like, I think there's a ping there, but I'm not sure, you know. So, but yeah, those. I also like the Morgenstein sticks a lot. Those are really nice sticks too. So,
I remember this was in college. I used to play a different brand of sticks, and I bought an entire box of these sticks. I'm not going to tell you what kind they are. And what was that?
Hold on, I caught.
Literally, one of my pet peeves about sticks is when you pull them out and you can bend them.
Oh my god!
I mean, you're supposed to hit the drum, and the drum is supposed to literally move. Well, if the sticks are rubber, then the drum's not going to move at all. The drum's going to go, oh yeah, try that again. and the sticks are going to, and it's like your tone just. So I remember throwing, literally, I think there were 3 pairs of sticks in the entire box that weren't like that. And I threw the whole box away, and I said, never again. And ever since I've been with Vic Firth, I've never, ever have thrown away a pair of sticks.
Yeah.
So, and I use, I like 5Bs. And I like the 5B, they actually can weigh them. I like the heavy. With only one exception, and that is when you do a side stick. If you're doing like a song that's got a real prominent side stick in it, I'll pull out a different stick, because the real dense, high-pitched sticks have a real high-pitched side stick. So if you want like a lower pitched side stick, you know, you need to get either a bigger stick or a different density of stick. And then just, you know, the brushes, we all wear out the brushes every day. I mean, Nashville.
Hey, can I just ask you guys something? Like, how, just because I never get to talk with drummers, how long does a pair last for you guys?
If I'm live, like we'll do 6 nights a week, day off, just constant. And I've got a good barometer for it. So a pair of sticks is lasting a whole show just about. And we're doing 20, 22 songs. And I'm like, what you were saying, the middle usually goes from the rim shots.
Yeah.
But man, it's amazing. I've got a bag full of after show sticks that I can still pull out and use. So.
The biggest thing is I've never hit one and it snapped.
Right.
As opposed to other companies, I literally had them just snap and, you know, in my face. You know,
Yeah, if it's going, you're going to feel it.
Actually, when I was doing a theater, it depends on how hard I'm playing. If I'm doing a theater job, I can get, I'm not kidding you, 2 hours a show, I can get almost 15 to 16 shows out of one pair of sticks.
That's awesome.
But if I'm doing a Travis gig where you got to play hard, and that's the way he likes it. And if you're going to play hard, I think I can get 2 shows out of a pair of sticks, but I always end up giving them to the audience at the end of the night. So I haven't really actually checked to see how many shows I can get, but usually I guarantee I can get 3 or 4. They're that durable. I could usually get 3 or 4.
And you use which ones?
The 3A.
3A. The 55As I was using with Donna Summer, and I could get about 2 shows.
I can get a show and a half
out of one pair
live, but in the studio you don't
with one
really
pair.
play as hard generally.
Yeah, no.
Depending on what you're doing.
With hers, it's like bashing. I mean,
Yeah.
playing disco, rock, whatever, and I could get about 2 shows, and each show was like 90 minutes.